real talk, revenue doesn't matter. EBITDA is the value. EBITDA is how your business is valued. So when you want to go sell your business, or when you want to bring on partners, or when you go to do whatever your life involves, nobody's going to give you for a bunch of revenue and no profit.
You optimize for growth or you optimize for profit. There's really no in between. To get to your first million in EBITDA, what does that look like? What are the big steps to cross that threshold?
Here's the secret sauce.
I'm ready. Is this a welcome back situation?
Dude, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Pretty sure you just welcomed us back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Into studio for me, and welcome back to Owned and Operated.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too. That for a second, that reminded me of like Wayne's World. Wayne's World!
All the time.
Yeah.
You're aging us.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. 91, baby.
Dude, what's going on?
It's June.
Mm-hmm.
It's, well, you know, I think last time we talked, last week, it was not yet hot as balls.
Correct.
It is now hot as balls, specifically Satan's balls.
That is a term.
That's a term?
That's a degree.
It's good. It's a degree. It's on the thermometer. Satan's balls.
It's, yep, right above like 90 degrees and humid.
Yeah.
I think it gets into that range, and then for some reason it just absolutely destroys all HVAC units.
This first nuts.
I love it.
It's incredible. The month is actually going okay. Like June started off slow. I would say slow, but like we're actually doing okay. Like we're gonna be within 5 points of budget, which felt pretty good. What we're finding, which is kind of interesting, is the further we get, the easier. I'm air quoting if you're not watching the YouTube, but the easier it gets. So like we did a $610,000 week last week, and it just felt like a normal week for us.
Oh, because like infrastructure was in place.
Yeah, just like good
that makes sense.
So it's like, okay, just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So that's been really interesting as the team has matured enough. And our manager said that too. Like our HVAC manager, like we had a blowout week last week in HVAC, like 50% more volume than the previous week. And he was like, honestly, it felt like fine. And I was like, yeah.
That's wild. Because like we're on the other side of that, where we're having great weeks. We're ahead of.
It's Herculean.
We're ahead of budget, but like now
everyone's
going, how do we?
Yes, yeah.
The crazy part
that was
too,
us last year.
Yeah,
just like we felt like everyone was pushing a boulder up a mountain, and now it's like I think the boulder's rolling down the mountain. Like it's just like, okay. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that we've been big fans of Service Scalers. One of the things that they just dropped that we are really excited about is a pay-per-lead program. So what they help you do is they help you directly gain access to leads and scale up your lead partner program. Go to servicescalers.com and say we sent you.
Well, the cool part though is like where I will agree with you is like we've been focusing a lot on sales process and technician training and service. And so the sale process has actually gotten much easier for us. Our guys are doing flips better. We're converting better. But now it's that like, how do you handle all of that data and afterward and get it to the installers, and how do you install quickly and properly and follow up and like small jobs, big jobs, it's a lot. And so from a capacity standpoint, that's where we're starting to feel it, is just going, wow, we've gotten so good at this side of the puzzle. Now we have to figure out the other side of the puzzle, which is equally important, if not more important.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you can sell till the cows come home, but if you can't install it, it's not worth it. Like it's more trouble.
Yeah. So I agree. So interesting. Good. Like I think the teams there were ready. The way our years have historically worked is the first 6 months of the year is 1/3 of our revenue, and the back 6 months is 2/3. So July is next week. So we're basically getting ready for the actual money part of the year, which we're pretty excited about. June was.
I hope we do that.
Pretty close within. Like, it's not the same for you?
I think I don't.
Ours is very.
I break it down by month.
In the first 6 months.
Yeah.
2/3 in the back 6. So like last year, 100% of our profit was driven from July to December. What's going to be fascinating this year is we're going into July at 1.7 of EBITDA.
Yeah.
Which like last year we went into July at negative $1 million.
So that's what I was going to say is the more interesting part is I'm looking at businesses. We're trying to acquire businesses as usual. And I see businesses and I'm like looking at it with the most interesting take of like, this is a great HVAC company. It's doing $3 million or whatever. And you look at it, it's like P&L on a monthly basis, it's loss, and then June hits or May hits, and they
800,000.
Yeah, they make like 150,000, then 80,000, then 90,000, and then loss, and then 200,000, and then 100,000, and like
HVAC's tough.
They end the year.
This is why I think HVAC's tough.
Like more months were losses than gains, which is crazy.
Well, we set out this huge target. We set out this huge target that we hit of 12 straight profitable months.
Yeah.
And if you're in HVAC, you know that that's not a thing. And we achieved it. So from May through April was 12 straight profitable months, and now we're finishing up May. We're finishing up month 14.
Yeah.
Of like straight in the black, which is great. And like the number's been as high as 17 and as low as 5, but still hitting in the black every time.
Which is crazy.
Totally crazy. I mean, it's been a huge win. But what we were going to talk about today was how to make your first $1 million, specifically making your first $1 million of profit, of EBITDA, not of revenue. Like make your first $1 million of revenue, like go get it. But let's talk EBITDA.
It's the harder number, right? Obviously, because that means that your business is probably, if you're HVAC, plumbing, electrical, your business is what, somewhere around that $5 million in gross revenue mark to get there, running at about what, 20?
I mean, that would be lean.
For first million EBITDA. Oh, so that'd be like 20%. If you're at 20%, that would be what, 700,000-800,000 then? My math is not going to be there.
I mean, I'm sure someone out there is driving $1 million on $5 million of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I have personally not seen it.
No,
I'm sure someone is.
We're only going to be at half of that. So you'd probably have to get double. So it's probably closer to 10, maybe a little bit less than 10.
I think 8 to 10.
8 to 10?
Yeah.
Because then if you're running a 10 to 15%, that's probably in the ballpark.
Now, granted, we didn't hit $1 million in EBITDA when we were 8 to 10, but I think because of how we were growing, we bought our way from 4 to like 11, and then we were in J curve. So J curve is when you're in the, you're investing back into your operations, and it can either be organic or, I think it's talked about a lot, acquisitions. Like you bought something, you invest, you J curve down in profit. So that's what happened in this case.
Yeah.
So we bought 3 companies, we invested a ton, we J curve down in profit. So we only hit $1 million EBITDA last year, and that was at like 20 something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like high growth, when you're in high growth mode, it's so hard to hit it because you're buying trucks, trucks are CapEx, excuse me, but still you're buying
usually people,
stuff
investing
and
in marketing,
people and training,
bigger facilities that you're leasing, not owning. So that's stuff that would impact.
Correct.
If I bought a building that that could artificially inflate my EBITDA, if we weren't investing in people, that could inflate EBITDA.
So high growth. I mean, you're probably putting more into marketing than you need to be. Running 11, 12, 13, 15% if you really want to get there.
There's companies that are growing like crazy right now. Apex down in Columbus, Sammy, he just did a show, and I listened to part of it, and they're growing like crazy. They're $40 million, and they started like 5 years ago. Like they're moving quick. They're like top line, right?
Yeah.
And so it's awesome. He's doing a great job. But they're a $40 million business spending 15% marketing.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
Huge.
Like no matter what way you spin it, that's a lot. And that's probably most of their EBITDA, and they're good with it. Obviously, like they're going to eventually flip to optimizing for profit, but that is a sacrifice for the moment.
Because you get there's two options, right? You optimize for growth or you optimize for profit. There's really no in between.
Well, about a year ago, we switched from growth to profit, and at the time, kind of nerve-wracking. You have to separate or I have to separate myself. Maybe other people are better at this than me, but I had to really like ego out of the equation. Revenue doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like real talk, revenue doesn't matter. I think on one hand, it's like cool and it's fun and it's all that stuff, but like EBITDA is the value.
Yeah.
EBITDA is how your business is valued. So when you want to go sell your business, or when you want to bring on partners, or when you go to do whatever your life involves, nobody's going to give you shit for a bunch of revenue and no profit. Yeah. But if you're running $5 million of EBITDA, then that business is worth something.
If you run $1 million of EBITDA, that business is worth something.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, that's generally like, I've talked about this before.
It's a threshold.
It's like, that's the big threshold.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2.5, 5, 10, 20 are like the thresholds of like big value. Where like once you cross those, different level of buyer, different type of, usually another turn or two on the multiple.
Yeah, exactly. And so to get to your first million in EBITDA, I mean, we aren't there yet. What does that look like? What are the big steps to cross that threshold?
Yeah.
I mean, first, as much as revenue doesn't matter, revenue at some point matters because EBITDA generally is a percentage.
Yes.
Like you don't run 100%
I think
EBITDA.
sustainable.
Yeah.
So something that, let's use that example of like the $5 million company running $1 million of EBITDA. That's not a sustainable $1 million of EBITDA. So if somebody approached me with that deal, I was like, hey, do you want to buy this for an 8 times? I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Absolutely not. Like you running at 20% margins at $5 million.
Yeah.
All that's telling me is you didn't invest in anything. Like you have literally done nothing. And now I have to come in and that $1 million is going to turn into 400,000 real quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not driving leads or you don't have anyone in the office and AI runs it all. And, like someone's going to have to get hired. So,
as much as people want to pretend that their business is really optimized, that the owner doesn't work and that they're getting 1 million EBITDA at 25%, it's like, it's not real.
Well, you can. Now here's
I'm just saying.
Here's the secret sauce.
I've never seen it.
Here's the secret sauce.
I'm ready. I'm backing up.
Yeah. This is good. And I think we'll talk about different layers at some point, but we're talking about $1 million of EBITDA today. But when you cross 5 to 10 million of EBITDA, you can again be at 25%. It's just this time it's real.
Yeah.
So like 25%, there's companies doing $40 million with a 25% bottom line.
See, but that makes sense to me.
Plumbing HVAC.
Right, but that makes sense because you have buying power. That's So
you outgrew your overhead. You have buying power. You might have like geographic distribution, and you need almost no overhead at some of those new branches.
Economies of scale is just absolutely nuts.
I mean, we outgrew our overhead last year. I think I talked about this a lot on the show. Hey, our overhead for Q1 was literally less dollars. And we drove $3 million more dollars to the top. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And you've talked about this too. Like you're able to pull levers. Like, hey, I've gotten.
We call it turn dials now.
Turn dials now. Thanks, Jack, for telling Jesse and John that.
I like that.
But turning, I actually think it is a lever in this case though. Okay. You're like, hey, the lever's weekends. Boom. My lever is this specific initiative that we're going to do. And hey, boom, we pull that lever and then out comes $5 million.
Yeah.
Like, it's much more difficult than that. But like the reality of it is I do think that there can be more focus on like, hey, we're going to tweak this thing and turn on weekends or start selling this additional product. And it just absolutely expands because there's no more overhead needed. Weekends, yes, but like adding an additional product line, not really. Right. Outside of maybe some training on the new product and installation training. But realistically, like there are these levers you can start pulling. There's really tiny ones that I feel now and I'm like, oh, that was a lever. That feels so good. This is huge. And it like produces 100 extra K. But that's something. It's something. And that's how you grow. So being able to see those levers.
Are you looking to grow your home service business with a steady and predictable stream of high intent leads? Well, Modernize helps contractors scale with 4 powerful tools: shared leads, inbound calls, live transfers, and branded programs, all designed to connect you with homeowners who are ready to start projects right now. They've delivered over 9 million leads, generated $4 billion in revenue, and support more than 25 trades across the country. Whether you've maxed out LSAs or you need leads to fill a revenue gap, Modernize is your growth lever from inquiry to install. Click the link below to start driving consistent growth with Modernize.
So
I think crossing $1 million it's brute force.
Yeah.
I think that first $1 million is brute force. Like it takes so much more work for someone to go like cross their first $1 million than for me to add another $1 million of EBITDA now.
Yeah.
Like our budget this year was about $5 million of EBITDA. We are roughly pacing like 4.8 maybe, but like we're feeling pretty good about it. So if like next year we're expecting to go from like 4.85 to like 7.8 because it's just sort of like turning dial, right? It's like, okay, we're lean here. Let's continue experimenting here. We think we can drop 100,000 of expense here. But that first $1 million is it's brute force. The owner's going to be carrying a lot of weight.
Yep.
You're going to have a lean management structure. a lot of automation and pricing jobs well. Like what we've consistently learned in our business is like we're a gross profit business.
Yeah.
So when I was growing, like the under 10, overhead was always too high. Like every metric I ever looked at, our overhead was like, I mean, there was years, not like months, but like years, where like old John over here ran a 45 to 48% overhead.
Yeah.
So like, and like gross margin was 50.
Yeah.
Like I had 2% years. And
I mean, that was like ours last year though. We grew 100%, but our net at the end of the year was
dog shit.
5%.
Totally.
Which is great for growth, but man, does that hurt.
Oh yeah.
When you look at any other metric, if you look at like, hey, we lost this job because of X, Y, or Z, to make up the loss on that job, a contractor doesn't pay because you're doing some GM stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Like you miss out on the 10K that GC owes you.
Yeah.
Like to make that up.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like at 5% net's absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
So
I think,
but diatribe.
I think get revenue big enough to be real is probably the first one. Because I think the danger of trying to optimize for EBITDA too early, I do think there's a danger. Like at $5 million, if you're running $1 million of EBITDA, like I said, you're just underinvesting.
Yeah. So
that's not sustainable. So when you want to go back to growing and make the business actually saleable, like a good thing to get, move on with your life, who's going to buy it at the multiple you're looking for? Because anyone's going to look at that and say it's too small, and that $1 million of EBITDA is actually 500,000. Yeah. And like everyone knows it, this is fake. So I think that's why it's brute force, is you have to get to a more reasonable number. 8 million, $1 million of EBITDA feels really healthy to me.
Yeah.
10 million, $1 million of EBITDA feels like, okay, you're probably investing in growth right now. 10 million is a hard threshold.
Yeah.
So I think the first one is like brute force, get the company bigger.
The easy way to do that is just to buy your way through it.
It's certainly faster. I don't know that I would say easier, but definitely faster.
I mean, there's huge step changes that come at that 5 million mark and 7.5 million mark, just from like management and like you're saying, running 48% overhead at a 2 or 3% net.
Yeah.
Just is so difficult. It's so painful.
It's tough.
So,
well, and we contrast that now, like our overhead's like 34% or 33%. Yeah. Like on a strong month, it might be 32, 31.
I hate that.
And so it's sort of like we literally just outgrew it. Like we just outgrew it. It's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Loved everything about it. But yeah, so I think get big enough, brute force your way to getting big. I think you can optimize on the way up in stuff that like literally didn't exist 5 years ago.
100%. But that's an optimization for like, hey, I need more money to then put back into marketing, or I need more money to pay technicians. Yes. It's not you're not reducing expenses to increase. Yeah. You're just shifting it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it ends up not really mattering. Like we talk about this often, is I shift off most of my labor in the office to international contractors.
Yes.
And all that money goes into marketing or into paying technicians more.
Yeah.
Because recruitment's so hard, like you have to pay the technicians better to bring them in, et cetera, et cetera. So like, how do we find that? And I think that's part of the brute force though, is just understanding that none of that money goes into my pocket. It all goes straight into growth initiatives.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the next thing that will hit growth initiatives is there's a data component that we didn't dial in till like now granted we'd dialed in now, but we should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
And that was ROI of those growth efforts. Like, is the thing we're investing, that hard-earned cash, is it doing what we want?
I hate that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Because I know it's something I don't do as well as I should.
Yeah, we're locked.
Yeah.
We are locked in on it. Maybe after this, I'll show you the spreadsheets, but it's really interesting. Yeah. We got that locked in to the point now where it's like a SOP. Like someone in the Philippines actually like all of it, which is kind of amazing. So I think really locking in like ROI on your marketing spend. Is it doing what I want?
Yeah.
Is this investment doing what I want?
There's a backside to that too, because like we do some ROI work, but the other part to it is actually having the individuals or having the systems and processes in place to turn on and off. Because I think smaller contractors a lot of the time, they think that, the more leads, the better.
Yeah.
But I've seen your team and they're animals, absolute animals.
Marketing is a contact sport.
Your marketing team, I'm in love with the whole team.
Have you attended any of the huddles?
No, but I go in there and just bug them and like, what do you guys do with LSA? What are you guys doing with this?
Dude,
and they're like, oh, we turn this on and this off and we're modulating this and doing this. And I'm like,
it is literally best defined as a contact sport. Like it is a contact sport.
But they're very active in managing.
100%.
And so me as the person,
it's a $2 million budget.
Yeah.
So if we don't manage that, so we have the opposite problem that most people have.
Yeah.
There's unlimited leads.
Yeah.
Like we got in a heated discussion about this the other day.
No, don't bring this back up. Don't bring this back up.
But there are unlimited leads.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is find the different ways to get them, which I don't think is that hard. It's maybe challenging, but like it's not that hard. Like anyone can do it. So I think you can go out and we have 15 lead partners now.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like most companies are like 1 to 3 channels, 1 to 2 channels. We were 1 to 2 channels until 2020.
Before people go out and get 15 lead channels, though, I would say that probably keeping it to a manageable. Don't worry about that.
But my point is, with 15 lead channels, and they all have leads, you can go well past $2 million very quickly.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
We've had errors where somebody leaves the lead budget on, and we lose $20,000 in a weekend. We just lose it.
Yep.
Like it's gone to the ether. So that happened one time last year, and it happened a few smaller times, but it was $25,000.
Well, because like we are in this heat wave right now.
Oh, yeah, we shut it all off.
That was the thing is like we dropped but it's me because I don't have marketing people. So that's why it's so important is because I have to go into the system while I'm fighting fires.
Yeah.
I ran calls this week.
Yeah.
So I'm selling units.
Yep.
Because we lost one of our top techs. So I'm stepping in, and you know what I mean? Like it's a contact sport because you're also fighting fires at the same time, but you have to remember to turn them off or at least turn them all the way down. And they're not always right. You have 15 lead partners. We have like 6, which is a lot to manage.
It's
like
a lot.
Multiple LSAs, PPC.
Yeah, PPC is a contact sport.
Aggregators. And if you leave an aggregator on, man,
they got leads.
They got leads for you, and you're just not going to go anywhere with them.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to service them. They're going to cancel or go somewhere else, and you're just wasting money.
Yeah. I mean, so that for us is $1 million EBITDA gain.
Yeah.
Like that was a really big deal for us, was dialing in marketing spend.
Yeah.
Like we'll do 2.5 or 2.6 or something million this month, and I think we spent 170 on marketing. Like, yeah, it's locked in.
It's amazing.
Yes. What's that? 6%?
Yeah. And so I think you're right. That's a huge unlock to be able
What's the ROI?
Is knowing what the ROI
spending.
is.
Yeah.
Where it's the ROI, where you're spending, because I know it's on my list of next things to do.
It took us a long time. So if that makes you feel better, it did take us like a year to get to the point we are currently.
I still think though that the time frame, how long it takes or how difficult it is partially irrelevant to you needing to do it as a
100%.
most important thing.
Yeah, that was more of like, it's okay that you're not there yet.
It's okay,
but like, if you start today, it'll be done in a year.
Yeah. Because
not as cool as me.
The reason I say that though, and bring it up, is actually a compliment to you in the sense that we started talking about gross profit and figuring, because I know that's what probably the next place you're going is like, know your data, know your gross profit number.
It was going to be fast reporting. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was huge unlock for us. Like the reason that we're able to do stuff and make the decisions we are today is because we have this fast reporting system, and it was hard.
Yes.
Like it was not easy, but it's been one of the best things to do for our company.
Yeah.
We went from, like we talked about earlier in the episode, we went from loss, win, loss, win, and then that was our year, to now focusing on, okay, win.
Yeah.
Our first quarter being in the first quarters are terrible.
Yeah.
We won every month in that quarter. Yeah, I think we lost maybe in April.
Yeah.
But January, February, March, win. April win, or May win, April loss, and then June is going to be hopefully a win.
Yeah.
But like, that's huge because we're making decisions like we're wrapping trucks and we're spending this expense money on new uniforms and branding exercises. And so like, those are all based on having that good data so that we don't have losses. Like, I'd rather, do one truck wrap every 2 months if it doesn't mean that I'm going to lose that month, because I don't want to lose ever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, fast reporting and maybe access of data.
Yeah.
Even like transparency in data. It might be the right way to think about this. So what, we were accomplishing this beforehand, but are we locked in daily on gross margin? And not just we as the owner, but like who else knows?
Yeah.
And how do we spread that information as widely as possible? I got really passionate about everyone needs to know the score last October. And there's been like a few challenges with it, but we went open book P&L. I think I've talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
Which, I think most owners,
They're scared to do that.
That's not a thing. And I think, I don't know that I cared. I was surprised at how little I cared. Because at a certain point, this is a $30 million business. There's 165 people in that building. Like, no one thinks I'm ripping 2.5 off the, like that.
So
that
that's what I was just going to say, is I think on those open book P&Ls, a lot of people are afraid. I'm not afraid, because I don't take anything out of the business. It's not a personal piggy bank. I think a lot of owners, they get really, really comfortable and they rip a little bit here, they rip a little
or
bit
their
there.
BMW or boat payments inside the business.
Yep.
Yeah, we run a clean set of books.
Exactly.
And I also clearly communicate. So every month, it's the second Wednesday of every month, open book financials.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Here's the wins. Here's the L's. We talk about cash, up or down. Like, did we hit our cash goals? Yes, no. If we didn't, what happened? And often it's decisions I make. Hey, we didn't because I put $100,000 into CapEx and we bought a bunch of vans.
Yeah.
And last month we had a debt pay down of $100,000. So like, yeah, cash went down because that was $200,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And our net profit was, in May, it was low for us, which I know it's a big number, but it was low for us. It was 187. So like, that's low. That was not a good month. So we had a net cash loss of $13,000. So we talked about that openly. And I think everyone has to know the score, and you have to be able to spread it wide. And I think a part of the reason I didn't care is because for 6 months prior to that, I had been doing this open by department every day, labor, material, like we have a daily gross margin.
Yeah.
And on there, we put days to break even. Our break even happens at $1.567 million every month. And everyone knows that we crossed that. And our net profit is there on the sheet. Like, hey, here's what we're pacing at, 200, 300, 400. So yeah, I think we just went really wide with it and we got better at reporting.
Yeah.
And that locked us in. So when we knew our break even to the day, like I broke even like last Friday. So I had like 7 freaking days to just rip, which was amazing. Today's break is brought to you by Owned and Operated newsletter. Go to ownedandoperated.com and sign up for a twice weekly drop that we send to 40,000 contractors with actionable tips on marketing, hiring, and growing your business. Join the 40,000 other home service contractors already signed up and learning. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Which is huge. I mean, that's what opens that. And that's where I was actually going to go with that too, is the weird thing to me about being in this podcast space where we're talking with owners and owners are coming to me is, you know, a lot of these people who are MBAs and who have these like really, they come from consulting. They know these items, they know that they need to do that, but they just don't do it because they're too busy firefighting. And so it's really getting them to a point where they're like, okay, I need to focus back on what I know I need to focus on. Yeah. And it's huge. It's business transformational. I think that those few items really are how to get to 1 million EBIT. It's like drive revenue. Yeah. Make extremely good decisions about putting money back into the business. Yep. And know where they're coming from. Yep. Yep. And then like tight reporting. I think my final one, and this one's pretty quick, we just talk about it a lot, but invest in stuff that will save labor. Like most of your EBITDA, are you driving profitable field operations? Mm-hmm. Is your office efficient? Like that's it. Yep. Those are the two things. So if your office, are you investing in AI? Are you on a CRM that helps you? And ServiceTitan is not the answer for everybody. Like we're actually switching one of our departments over to Field Pulse right now. I saw that. Yeah. Like literally it is a win. And why am I paying $300 a user on ServiceTitan when I can do this over here? Yeah. So
like, are you investing in the right stuff? Are you over investing, which you might be? That was the case here. Like we don't need all the bells and whistles for this department, so we're moving over to Field Pulse. Do you have automations? Do you have Zap set up? Like, are you reducing that? Are you staffing overseas? Like, how big of a part of your company is your overseas staff? So I feel like obviously we spend a ton of time on the show talking about those things.
Yeah.
But for us, last year, $1 million of EBITDA came from really like tracking gross margin and like tight reporting. $1 million of EBITDA came from tightening office operations with AI, automation, and overseas. That was literally $80,000
leverage. Yeah, you're
100%.
People leverage technology leverage.
100%. And then my $3 million came from increased gross margin from tight reporting.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I mean, the only other thing that I would like to add that I've seen you do really well as a lot of other bigger operators as we go, do site walks and everything, is the heavy focus on technician retention.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of expense that goes and a lot of decisions are made. But I mean, what I didn't understand was there's a lot of decisions made that are all about technician retention that don't make sense necessarily from like a regular operation. So, hey, overspend on your facilities. Not huge overspend, but overspend to grow into, but also overspend to be in a nice area for marketing, overspend to be in a nice area so that people want to work for you versus you're headhunting and trying to get people to, it's like, nobody wants to go to a dumpy old facility that looks like junk. So we just built out a brand new training room and spent a bunch of money. We copied yours with the 2 TVs on the wall and brought in the desks and brought in sanders and painters and all this kind of stuff to build out this really nice training room and break room so that people want to work for us. Yeah. Which I think is a huge part because people are our business. Yeah. So
100%.
Awesome, man.
That's how you make your first $1 million. You think you're going to hit it this year?
Next year.
Next year?
We'll hit it next year because we're on track. We're spending everything. We exited Q1 at like 15% net, which was, it felt so good. It wasn't so much pain as normal with 24% growth. So like we had good growth with good net. Yeah. Q2 has exploded, best month ever in May, followed by we're going to beat it in June, hopefully beat it in July, and beat it in April or in August. That's the goal. The point being is I think we'll hit our goals this year. We'll surpass them. And then next year, the goal will be 1 million in EBITDA. Yeah. 10 in top line. So
yeah, that's amazing. I think we're,
I try to view myself as like 3 years behind you, 4 years behind you. Yeah. And then it keeps me going when this shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, I think you'll be there. I think that's kind of the fun thing about this industry. The numbers compared to what I feel like such an old head when I say this shit, but like the numbers are so different. Yeah. From when I started, where a $2 million company then was like 15 people and now is like 4, 5, 3. Yeah. Like it's just insane. And I think like the scale and the pace you can grow at, like I'm finding myself having to reset my own expectations just because I've been in the industry for so long that, hey, 40 million is no longer like that big.
You heard that here first, guys. 40 million is no longer that big. You got to go for that. What's big now, John? Tell me, is it the 100 million mark?
I start to be like, oh, they're a big company at 75, 80.
John is not disconnected from you guys. He completely is just one of the boys. He's one of the boys. He knows what it's like.
Oh my God. Oh, fuck you. All right.
I love that.
If you like what you heard, including this bullshit for the last 10 seconds, make sure you like and subscribe and head to ownedandoperated.com, sign up for the newsletter, check out the workshop.